Welcome back, everyone. This session is about how to build your resilience. It is very important to share this video with your friends and comment in the comment box below. Resilience is one of those qualities and the traits that you absolutely need to improve in your professional as well as your personal life. Resilience is known as a process of adapting well in the face of the adversity, trauma, tragedy, threats, or significant sources of stress. And nowadays, specifically ever since the pandemic happens, resilience is known as one of those important traits that everybody needs to build stronger resilience within the community. You need to build up your resilience in the family, in your relationships, and it is very important to know how to solve the problem. Problem solving is one of those skills that in your personal and your professional life will come handy, as well as day-to-day basis, like how to resolve the issues. Many people nowadays, because of the load of their work and their personal life, they deal with a lot of stress. And in order to deal with the workplace or the financial stresses, resilience is very important. So remember that resilience is not a trait that people need to have or don't have. It is a kind of behavior. It is a kind of a thought, or it is a kind of the action that anyone can learn and develop to perform better at work or in a relationship. How you need to develop resilience in your personal life is considered as a long journey, one step at a time. As I always remind the students, you need to approach resilience, which is absolutely important trait to be built, as a kind of a behavior at work, or a kind of a behavior in your personal life. So people consider to take different strategies and different steps to build resilience. There are some variations of the cultural differences, and at work, because of working with the within the different cultures, as we always call it, diversity and inclusion are considered as must in most companies. An individual, for example, if someone has a specific culture, they might have an impact within their community at work or in their personal life. What are some of those strategies that you can build for better resilience? Is you need to make connection. You need to remember that making connection is more than just having this simple morning chit chat of hi and how is everybody doing. So greetings, people, and the very small talks, and we call it elevator talks, are not considered as making connection. Connecting with people is to the deeper level. So when you connect with people, you accept their culture, you accept their support and help. And it is important that to know that we all come from different backgrounds and come from different strengths of resilience. Some people find it active to be more or better communicator within the community, and some other people need to work on the upcoming steps. If you want to build your resilience, you need to avoid seeing crisis as the insurmountable problems, as it is known that problems in everybody's life will happen. You need to deal with the major problem as a group of minor issues. Break down the problem into smaller pieces and deal with each problem on its own. Therefore, the major problem will be resolved as such. If I can change the fact that the problem happened, I'd better address it. And if not, you need to break down the major problem in order to solve the minor issues in a better way. The next step is you need to accept the change, which is a part of living. So change is the only permanent element in this life. We constantly need to change, and when we constantly face with changes, by accepting the change as a fact that is a part of life, we can set different goals and set the smaller goals. And in order to have different results of the adverse situation, we need to address each goal separately. So We must accept circumstances that cannot be changed. We must focus on each individual circumstances to alter and to shape our resilience level. The next step is we move toward our own goal, one step at a time, as it is always known. We think about the possible solutions. After breaking down the major issue, we think about the possible solutions. I will share this document within the chat box. More than welcome to save it on your computer. I'm more than welcome to comment in the chat box and how resilient, for example, you are, and what do you think you can do to make yourself more resilient on that end. You need to move forward to your goals. Yes, each specific goal that we set, we might face with problems achieving or attaining that goal. Realistically looking at it, we need to think about the small accomplishments and appreciate each individual small accomplishment. We focus on the outcome of each individual goal, and then we ask ourselves, like, what is one thing that I know I can accomplish today? We take one step at a time. This is the APA Association publication, and I will share this link within the chat box below. The next step to build a better resilience is you need to be decisive in any decision that you make. At times we might procrastinate, or we might feel a little bit laid back and not addressing that specific goal. We need to act on adverse situation as much as we can. We set a goal, we set a date, we set a plan, and we stick to it day after day. And we always reflect on the previous day to see what needs to be done for the upcoming day. We need to take decisive actions rather than the detaching from the problems. As we always say, feel what we feel. Stresses are absolutely inevitable. We all deal with different types of stresses, and we need to wish that where we're going to go with that level of a stress and how we can resolve them. Being active instead of passive when we're dealing with the stress will help us to manage the adversity in more effective way. The next step is we need to find positive ways to reduce the stress and negative feelings. As I always recommend the students to meditate, go for a long walk, listen to good music. At times, the sleeping will help as well. We need to follow the stressful events with more positive thoughts rather than thinking more negative. If the circumstances happen, we need to, once we have the positive mindset, the solution is ahead of us. Therefore, positive distractions such as exercising, watching a movie, reading a good book will bring that focus back. Then we can avoid numbing ourselves by the unpleasant self-sabotaging, as I always call it, feeling with alcohol or drug. The next step for building a better resilience is we need to look for opportunities for self-discovery. As I always remind the students, 80% of the problem can be resolved within you. When you sit with yourself and jot down your notes on a piece of paper, then you realize what those small steps or missing steps that you need to take. People often learn something about themselves when they sit and when they think within realistically and write down the issues on a piece of paper as a result of their struggle with missing those steps or their losses. So many people who have experienced tragedies and hardships have reported better relationships, greater sense of strength, even while feeling vulnerable. Vulnerability is the first step of knowing yourself better, so feel what you feel. The next step, which I would like to consider as a last step for this video, is nurture a positive view of yourself. We all are the worst judge of our own character. Instead of being hard to yourself, be kind to yourself. Develop confidence by being kind to yourself. Feel what you feel and solve the problems to build a better resilience and stronger resilience, and trusting your instincts, most important. Thank you for watching, and I will post this in the comment box below for your review.